Okay.
Alrighty. Oops, notifications.
Should be starting live soon. It says I'm now
Alright.
live.
Yep. Yep, you're live.
I'm live!
Yep.
Starting live. Woohoo! We did it!
Yep, alrighty. Hello, everybody.
I'm live!
Yep.
Starting live. Woohoo! We did it!
One more day. Yep, alrighty.
Okay, good. Everything should be working.
Perfect.
Alrighty. So, who starts first? Me or you?
Well, I think we could just all say one more day. One more day till the Switch.
In less than 24 hours from now, we will know everything about the Nintendo Switch.
Well, not everything, but a lot, more than what we've been given. So, a lot more than what we usually know now.
Twice as much, maybe 3 times as much.
Yep.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or boys and girls, or who's ever is watching. This is a special broadcast tonight. This is something of a live podcast, I guess if you could say it. Would you say this is a podcast?
Kind of like a
Yeah,
special live discussion.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
Yeah, very much so. Because who knows what kind of tangents we would be getting onto, since nothing happened. Nothing video game related has happened except tomorrow. So
Yeah, starting 2017 off right.
Well, except for Microsoft doing something stupid, but we're not going to talk about Microsoft today. Well, maybe at the end, but we're not going to talk about it now.
Oh, definitely not. I don't feel like getting bitter tonight.
Yeah. So yes, the Switch. It's finally, we're going to have a press reveal tomorrow, fully live with, is it like a Nintendo Direct type of ordeal, or is it going to be like a live stage event?
It's a live stage event, I think.
Okay.
It's going to my knowledge, how this is going to go down is that it's going to be live. It's going to be a stage event live in Tokyo. It's going to be in Japanese, but there will be a voiceover English translation.
Oh yeah, that's right. Kimishima is going to show his first on-stage appearance as Nintendo president after that.
Wish I had a picture of him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is because this is the first time we're going to see Kimishima, and it might be extremely abrupt since Iwata sort of just passed away extremely abruptly, but it'll be nice to see what this new president is going to do now that basically the whole company has a brand new fresh start.
Yeah. Kind of I can't believe we've gotten to this point. It seemed just like yesterday where Nintendo was announcing they were going to be making mobile games, and then just announced that they were making a new console right out of the blue. Look, well,
Nintendo's been busy this year. They have a lot of different plans. I mean, they not only did they announce their entry into mobile games, they also officially announced the theme park ordeal.
That won't be coming for a while, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. No. Theme parks take a long time to do.
Yeah, I think they announced Avatar Land like a couple years ago. Long while back. And it's still being worked on.
Yeah, well, that's because it's like a theme park. It's basically construction work at this point. I'm pretty sure they're doing the final conception and the planning and all that fun stuff, so that way real construction can get a work on.
Plus, no one cares about Avatar.
Yeah, no one cares about Avatar.
Not even you.
No.
I don't even think James.
And for the record, and we're talking about the James Cameron one.
Not the good show, not the movie
Yeah,
though.
not the good cartoon show that had a slightly okay sequel.
Yeah, yeah. This is getting off topic, so
Yeah, already. So, but yeah. But anyways, the Switch. I'm at first I kind of would have just said that it's kind of weird for them to release a console this early into the year. But ever though I appreciate what they're doing. This is a brand new start. They're essentially done with the Wii U, so I'm glad that it's coming out earlier, better than later.
I feel
So that way they can.
bad for whoever picked up a Wii U at
You
any
shut
single
up.
time.
Shut up. No,
Yeah, that's
in
right. You
fact,
have a
you know
Wii
what?
U.
Let me tell you what it was like. The first, I'm pretty sure the only good year for the Wii U was 2014, but that was because Nintendo had to make it that their go-to year. Because for 2 years of basically being given mediocre stuff, it's good. 2014 had to be like their go-to year, and after Splatoon came out, it release started to get slower and slower and more far apart.
Splatoon was 2014, right?
No, Splatoon was 2015. I remember I got it for the summer 2015.
Oh yeah. God, it feels like forever ago since that game came out.
Yeah.
You know, I have I have never owned a Wii U. I have a Wii, which I actually bought, like an original OG Wii. It's
Oh,
such a
jeez.
great console.
If only it had good games.
It does have good games, like
Yeah, but not a whole lot.
which
Like I
one, the
swear,
Wii
you
or Wii U?
stop and you go to like a used game bin and you're like trying to find like gems, and all you find are like fitness games and like knockoff shovelware.
Oh yeah, it has a lot of shovelware and a lot of terrible games. But as far as like the system's best games are really good, like Mario Galaxy 2, the Metroid Prime trilogy,
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade, which they they still have that game at GameStops. It's expensive. It's like $60.
You think the price would go down since like they released it for the new 3DS? But then again, who owns a new 3DS?
I don't. I'm still rocking the OG 3DS somewhere.
Yeah, probably upgrade.
Probably upgrade to the
Whatever.
Switch.
Whatever though, I'm in what they're doing with the Switch. I'm really glad that for once it's for at least for Nintendo, it's just an average console. There's nothing really special about it except for that portable gimmick. But aside from the portable gimmick, that's it. That there's nothing thing drastic or crazy about the control scheme of in any way, shape, or form. So it's just a standard old school console.
I really like the overall design of it because it's very much as straightforward and as mature of a design as they've ever put out.
Yeah, like when like a lot of people brought this up during the Switch presentation that there wasn't any viewing of like a family or kids playing the Switch, but rather just like college-aged adults that were playing with the Switch.
Like us, except, not losers.
Yes, very much so.
You know, I don't know if you watch Game Explain, but they had one of the guys in the Switch commercial come on and be interviewed.
Yeah, I saw that one. I
And
saw that
apparently
one.
he said like he was the only guy who plays video games regularly. It's like
Yeah,
either
he
him
has
or
a
like one
band.
other guy.
Yeah, he has a band. It's called. Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. He does like a jazz rendition of video game covers. It's pretty good.
He has a
Uh,
band and he plays Mario Maker on Twitch.
yeah, pretty good guy.
I don't have the picture on me right now. I guess I can get it, but he was like the bearded guy in one of the the
Yeah,
Splatoon
he was.
segment.
Yeah, he was in the Splatoon tournament. Oh, by the way, here's how I think that it's going to show off the Switch. I feel like they're going to like show off Breath of the Wild. Like they're going to show off Breath of the Wild playing on the Switch, like in the normal, like on the TV, like on a projection in the back of them, and then they play it, and then they take the Joy Cons, they slip them out, and then they plop it into the Switch, and then they pull it out just to instantly show us how it works.
Yeah, they're definitely going to do that because that is like one of like the coolest features ever. Like, it's so cool. How many times can I say cool?
That's the big point of the console. So I'm pretty sure they're going to demonstrate like how that works in its entirety, because I remember they showed off on Jimmy Fallon, but although it didn't exactly look super seamless, like it almost looked like they had to turn off the TV portion behind Reggie and Jimmy Fallon when they did it, and then they pulled it up, and then it was instantly there. So
no, because I think you're right, because he pulled it up and then he like did something. So what I assume is that once you pull like the game out, once you pull the controller out of the dock, it goes into a suspend mode, like on the 3DS or something. Because that would make sense.
Like like I'm pretty sure it'll do that for like a little bit, but
like imagine if you're playing I don't know if this is a good example because the game doesn't pause, but Dark Souls. Imagine if you're like playing Dark Souls on your television, and then you're in the middle of a boss fight, epic, all the stakes, and then nature calls. And it's like, okay, nature's calling, I gotta go, I still want to continue, so you pull the system out, but, imagine if, like, the boss is in the middle of an attack or something. Then, the game suspends. That way, you don't lose any progress you have.
Well, I'm looking at a picture of the Switch right now, and just from an up-close point of, like, the controller, I do see a home I do see, like, a home button. Like, there's
a home button? And then there's
there is a button in like a general shape of a house. Like I'm looking at one of the Joy-Con pictures that shows Breath of the Wild, and I do see like that, like on the right controller, on the bottom stick. It's a home button, and then there's like a circular button. I don't know what that circular button does. Like maybe it's like a select feature. Who knows?
Well, I assume it's gonna sound nutty. What I assume here is that what this is going to do is that it's a share button, like a pause button.
That would be nice. That would be nice. I would like a share function. Like I'm pretty sure that's what most consoles should do. Like now that since most of the next gen systems do have like a share feature where you can instantly live stream from the console. I think that's a nice feature, and I would like that.
Yeah, like Nintendo has been toying around with doing this as well because they had the what's it called, Mario Kart 8. They had like that TV feature where you can like upload replays onto YouTube.
Yeah. Also, just want to give a quick shout out to Super Galaxy Media who's watching us. Well, thank you for joining our ramblings.
Yo to you as well.
Yep. So, but anyways, you were saying?
And then, let's see, they had Mario Kart thing, and then I think they also did it with Smash Brothers as well, where you can like upload replays on YouTube.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they did have that with Mario Kart, but however, though, the one thing about Smash is that in order for you to save and upload like screenshots and videos up to you and videos was that you need to have an SD card. For Mario Kart 8, you could do that with just your regular YouTube account, and you'll do that just fine. But however, though, it wasn't like you can customize like the gameplay footage that you were recording. It was more or less like a highlight reel, and you just got to play that. So it wasn't as, I'd say it more in detail, like with how the PlayStation 4 does like video sharing.
Isn't that where the Luigi Death Star meme came from as well, where like people were slowing down like Mario Kart replays?
That's how it came from. That's how they did it, but it wasn't like as in detail. Like you couldn't control where the camera position. You couldn't control the camera positions or how long the clips would last. So basically your chances of getting like a Luigi Death Stare were very slim, unless of course you had like a homebrew Wii U or had the ability to manipulate the footage for yourself. But other than that, it was basically all very restrictive.
Okay. Because do you own Mario Kart 8?
Yes, I basically have the Wii U's best hits. So, which is not a big surprise because those are the only things that the Wii U has right now.
Yeah. And they have God, other stuff like Sonic Lost World. Remember Sonic Lost World? No, wait, I think that's on PC now.
Oh,
And the stream cut out. That's nice.
that was fun.
Yeah,
Technical difficulties. Yeah.
gotta love those technical difficulties. They are truly the bane of our existence.
Yep. Has your computer ever done anything like this for streaming before?
No, probably, um,
Well, do you think if we stopped the video chat, we could probably be a lot smoother? Or
yeah, we should. I don't
all
even
right,
know.
hold on.
Here we go.
Hold the phone and there.
Now that I think about it, that's a really pixelated Death Stare.
Hold on, I'm trying to. Hold on, can you resend me the link for your? Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Woohoo! We're somehow doing
Okay,
stuff.
so.
But,
Ready.
but yeah. What? Oh yeah, we're talking about Wii U.
But
About
yeah,
the Switch stream. Isn't that ironic?
yeah. But you know, what? I feel like it's a good thing to talk about the Wii U because the Wii U was just kind of like a sad thing for it to fail because, but however though, at times I guess you could say that it was very much destined to because nobody knew because not even Nintendo knew how to advertise the damn thing.
No, it was so weird how little they took advantage of that console's headline feature, which was basically uh that gamepad gimmick.
But yeah, but overall, the thing is though, no one knew what to do with the gamepad. Like none of the developers really knew how to make the gamepad work. In fact, the gamepad was much more of a hindrance than anything because the real problem of why third-party devs were having issues with the Switch and fully abandoned it altogether was simply put, the gamepad was because the gamepad was the Wii U's only controller. Now, sure. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's not like the system didn't have games. It had it did use games that had it did have games that use it, like Splatoon, for example, and Mario Maker.
Yeah, like Mario Maker and Splatoon are probably the recent examples of the gamepad being utilized. And even with Splatoon, it wasn't even utilized that greatly. Like for Splatoon, you used it for the gyroscope controls and to speed and for you to basically do a huge jump to another player across the map. That was it. Mario Maker utilized it greatly because of its touchscreen gameplay and how you had to build levels with it. So
And that game,
that was the
and that game is functional on the 3DS, so it's not like it needed the Wii U.
yeah, it didn't, but that was the thing though. It was that whatever though. It was really just everything else because I watched like a couple of video. I watched a video of a long time ago of them expressing what the gamepad can do, and it has all these different features. Like it has a front-facing camera, it has a gyroscope, it has accelerometers, it has all of this other stuff, and they don't, and no third-party developers, hell, not even Nintendo themselves, really utilize the system.
You really,
Not really utilize capabilities, and also with that second screen, with the gamepad being it the gamepad really takes a huge chunk of their development of that processing power, because that's the reason why Sonic Boom did terribly as it is, because when you utilize two-player mode, it basically runs the game on two different screens, and it just makes the game run terribly.
yeah. Speaking of Sonic Boom, I also heard that they had a lot of trouble getting the engine to run on the Wii U.
And that's the thing though. Not only was because of it, not only was because it was semi-inferior hardware, and also just because I believe some of the stuff with like the system being a bit wonky, but whatever though, it really was that gamepad. Because like here's a good example. Most third-party games that were released early, like in the early Wii U's lifespan, like Batman, Arkham Origins, and specifically Assassin's Creed 4, they don't really utilize the gamepad that much. Like, but however, though, simply because the Wii U gamepad was the only controller that was for the system, and you couldn't really turn the thing off. You couldn't turn the gamepad off on no matter what game you're using, whether or not you are using a Pro controller. It always still has to be on. So basically, what the gamepad was usually left to was a map. It was just like a mini map that was super laggy and all that other stuff.
Yeah, when I think about it, not even Nintendo's best games really used it. Like, they had Mario 3D World, which didn't use it, except in
No.
like specific situations. They had, let's see, they had Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which I think actually turned the gamepad off.
Yeah. And else, even their biggest astounding hit, Super Smash Brothers, for the Wii U, never even used it at all.
Yeah, Smash and Mario Kart never use it as well, and those are those are their biggest games.
Yeah.
I think the only games that I think really took advantage of it were, let's see, off the top of my head, Zelda, at least the Wind Waker HD.
Well, Wind Waker HD rarely use it. Like, you use the gyroscope, like, to look in first-person view, which is nice for aiming.
But also, like,
But even
real-time item switching. That would be such a useful feature.
Yeah, and luckily they're using that for luckily they're using that for Breath of the Wild, so that's good.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild, by the way, looks amazing and is my most anticipated game of this year.
I am excited for this. I've been waiting like 3 years for this game to come out, and I just want it. I just want it right now.
Yeah, because I think the last major Zelda game that came out was Link Between Worlds in, I want to say it was 2013. It's been a while.
Yeah, I believe it was I believe no, it was 2013. It was 2013.
And if you're counting consoles, it was Skyward Sword, and that was way back in 2011.
So yeah,
So it's been about 5 years, a little over 5 years now.
but however, though, I'm just excited because the Switch doesn't have any real gimmick. Like, it doesn't have motion. Like, it's not emphasizing motion controls. It's not emphasizing like what the Joy Cons can do. Like, it doesn't have all these other special little things that developers can meddle with. No, it's just a bare bones thing with its only real gimmick being that you could take the two Joy Cons separately and play them with each individual hands, or toss them off to a different player, and you can take it to go with you. That's it. That's all it needs to be. Other than that, it's just a regular system, and for Nintendo to do something like this, for it to still be very normal, is a godsend, especially for how their last console was just doing very poorly.
Yeah, in a way though, this is a very Nintendo thing to do, having some I guess you can call this a gimmick in the way that like a lot of their other systems, there's very much a hook to it. In the 3DS it was the 3D, in the Wii it was motion controls, in the Wii U it was the gamepad, and this is basically like an on-the-go game console, which is very ambitious. And I hope
It's
it can run at least the console games that would be a perfect fit, like Skyrim and Xenoblade, which I
flying.
think we're getting. It's pretty much inevitable. We're getting a Xenoblade X sequel, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I didn't get Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is another big hit. But however,
But
though
I got the Wii U's
here's,
greatest
here's
hits.
another big problem with the Wii U is that it has terrible memory. Like the one that I got for launch was 32 gigabytes, and even 32 gigabytes wasn't enough. Because right now I have Pikmin 3 and Super Mario Galaxy 2 on my system right now that are digital. I cannot delete those because they don't have like some form of feature where if I delete them, I can download them again.
Yeah, like on the
So
PS4.
yeah, so basically those things have to stay on my system for the rest of that Wii U's life, and meanwhile I can't get anything else that's bigger than 12 gigs.
Imagine
Oh,
PT, but with an entire console library.
yeah.
I'm pretty confident though that the Switch won't have this because I think they got a third party to help them develop their infrastructure this time. I don't know what they're called.
They
They're,
got they I remember well Nvidia helped with the graphics card.
I think it's in yeah, it's Nvidia who's like doing. Apparently, they're like
Yeah.
involved way deeper than that because if under blow blog post they made when the Switch was announced, not only are they providing the processor for it, but they're also making like a new API, new APIs, and I think they're also helping develop the OS.
Yeah, so but although I do like that. I do like that they're getting like a real professional I want what would you call them, like tech people?
People who know what they're doing.
Yeah, people that know what they're doing when it comes to this stuff, because it's good to see that. I don't expect like the Wii to be like a huge powerhouse. Like I expect it to run equally as equivalent to PS4, like the PS4 standards.
The thing about
Maybe slightly less, but however though somewhere in that ballpark.
I think it'll be capable of running all the major engines because if you take a look at the sampling of their partners here, they have a lot. They have a lot of these are tech companies that really provide game tech, not so much video games themselves. Like they have Havoc, they have Unity, they have Epic Games, who makes Unreal, which is a huge thing for them since almost every major game runs on Unreal or some kind.
Yeah. So that's a good get. I'm pretty sure, like from what I've heard, that the Switch is very third party friendly. Like they basically built the system so that way it's very easy to like make ports of other games for it. So that's always a good thing.
And the thing about like most modern day video games is that they tend to scale. Everything has scalable parts that you can scale from low end to high end. So lighting, textures, character,
Yeah.
maybe not character models, resolution.
And really, the only real difference between each consoles and PCs are basically like very minor differences. You can get a little more technical with PCs because of modding, but however, though, when it comes to like consoles and like base games on computers, basically there's only like very minor differences.
Yeah, like you look at something like the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. All like the major advantages they use on the PS4 Pro, or just stuff you can scale up, like resolution, because
That's because the PS4 Pro is running like 4K technology, but however, though, it's using a Blu-ray disc, so it's kind of
it's kind of weird because it doesn't
yeah,
have a
it is
4K player. But at the same time,
Yeah.
though, it also needs to have that same disc run on the regular PS4.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, I'm looking at the list of Nintendo Switch partners, and overall, it's very like standard stuff. Like you got Capcom, you got Atlas, Spike Chunsoft, Zelda, Sega, Platinum,
The ones
Koei
that make me
Tecmo.
most excited are Bethesda because I don't think Bethesda's ever developed for Nintendo, and like one of the first games we saw was Skyrim.
Yeah. So I'm very interested by that. Travel Tales games, that's nothing really special. What interests me the most is From Software.
Oh my god.
Like apparently From Software have been saying like pretty good things about it, so that's always a good thing.
I think it would be like really great if we got a port of Dark Souls 3. Running the Dark Souls games for that matter running on the Switch.
That would be nice, but ever though I would be very afraid to buy a Dark Souls game for a Switch just because if you get angry and you rage quit, you'll chuck the Switch like a frisbee, and then it's broken. It's gone.
You know, Dark Souls is hard, but it's not like anger inducing.
No, it's challenging. It's fair. Mechanics are fair. Everything is great. Mechanics are fair and precise, and it's fair. It's a challenging game, but it's not difficult.
Exactly. It's like your mother or something like that.
Yeah.
Platinum
Grasshopper. I'm looking at the list right now. Grasshopper Manufacturer. Those are the guys that made No More Heroes. So that's gonna be interesting what they do.
they just released a game on PS4. It's called Let It Die. So you have Grasshopper, and they also have their parent company, Gunho.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm noticing a lot of this. Like, they have Square Enix on there, and then, like, they also have Tokyo RPG Factory, which is owned by Square Enix.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. However, but what's interesting is that they have Take Two Interactive, so that's interesting because I believe isn't like Take Two owns Rockstar Games, right?
Take Two owns Rockstar. I doubt, part of me doubts we'll see like a Rockstar game on there. Like, although it would be like really cool to see something like Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be interesting. However, there's another one that's kind of that I'm kind of that's interesting. DNA is on this list.
DNA, yeah, that's the company I was thinking of. DNA are the company that helped Nintendo, I think, engineer their mobile games. Like, I know they helped develop Miitomo and
They're the ones that got the they're the ones that got the Nintendo contract for mobile games. So it's interesting for like a very for their mobile game partners to be working on the Switch.
yeah, my theory is that they're the ones who are going to help Nintendo develop the I guess their online infrastructure,
Maybe.
like Friends and such, because it works really well with stuff like Miitomo and Mario Run. So, like, you can search your friends through Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah. So maybe that'll work.
So,
I'm hoping that the online is free.
that would be great.
I know that
and
that's a kind of a weird question to ask, but I do hope that the online for the Switch is free. I don't want to have like a PlayStation Plus or an Xbox Live Gold for my Nintendo system.
my theory is that once Microsoft figured out how to make online successful, they started charging for Xbox Live, and then once Sony figured out how to make online successful, they started charging for PS Plus. And Nintendo has not figured out how to make online successful, so they haven't charged yet.
Yeah,
I doubt they will.
I'm
Because the
pretty.
thing
Yeah,
is, though, Nintendo doesn't have a tiered online service, and that could change, as of tomorrow. But
yeah, that could. Well, that could change. Well, yeah, because again, what games are they going to come out with for the day? Which let's get into the discussion of what kind of games you were thinking about seeing of what they're going to hopefully reveal next tomorrow. Actually,
So I think every single game in that trailer is going to be at launch. Not at launch, shown off tomorrow.
yeah. Well, okay. I don't think I'm pretty sure that I don't think they're going to show off a Mario game.
I think they will. That game has raised. If I can find it.
Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. Okay, it's Nintendo, so of course, obviously, there's going to be a Mario game. But though, I don't believe I'm not going to hold my breath on whether or not the new Mario game looks like like what we saw in that demo. I would be happy. I would be really happy if they did show it off, and it was like kind of like it playing like 64 and Galaxy almost in a way. But though, I'm not going to hold my breath because.
I think it will because the thing is, though, it's a really specific. It's really specific. Like it has Mario in this unknown location in like this Mexican town, and then like the next shot you see him like running through like these frozen desert lands. It sounds like it sounds like too specific for it to be just footage used specifically for a trailer, like in the Wii U. Like they showed off a Mario game there, but it was like a generic looking new Super Mario Brothers game.
Yeah, but though they also showed Zelda footage too, and that was pretty lengthy. Like it showed off a dungeon, and it was in a very different art style. So I don't know. Like I'm like when it comes to this kind of stuff, I kind of want there to be an official announcement first.
I guess the thing is too is that when those games were shown off, like the Zelda demo and the Mario demo with the Wii U, the system was still a year out. The Switch is 2 months away, so I doubt there will be any time to do tech demos. Especially because the system itself doesn't really lend itself to tech demos like the Wii U did.
Well, that's the thing though. They've been working on the Switch for who knows, like for what, like 2 years right now? Because they made the announcement.
I'm gonna guess I'm gonna guess about 3 years.
So yeah, they made. Well, I do remember that they made the announcement of them doing the news of them doing this brand new system right immediately after they announced they were doing their mobile game. So I'm guessing they had a lot of time to make something to fancy something up.
Yeah. But I think the Mario game is real. I don't know how it's going to play.
I don't know
here's the launch, but I think we'll show it off.
I want there to be like a 64 Sunshine Galaxy type of game right now. Because we have new Mario Bros. And that for a launch title for the Wii U, and that worked out okay. Super Mario 3D Land and World did fine, but though it was just kind of like more like one or the other. Like they were basically the same games, almost in a way. Just
good.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie that they're good, but though I believe it's time for something different. Like they're gonna go back to 64 style Mario gameplay.
I wonder how they're gonna do that because Mario 64 and Sunshine, like they're good games. Mario 64 is an incredible game, but it's also those two games have also aged. Like, and they trimmed the fat off a lot of Mario since then. So one of my theories is that it's going to be more like structurally close to Galaxy, where there's levels, there's a lot of them, and they have 2 or 3 objectives each, and we're going to see the return of the hub world.
That'll be fine. Like I'm fine with that. That's again, that's kind of like just how it plays. I like that type of style. I like that type of gameplay. A bit more than just like 3D Land and 3D World, which don't get me wrong, they're good games. But though I believe it's time for something different.
And I think we're also going to see co-op in that game.
Maybe
because
I want. Hopefully, I hope that they do more with Splatoon.
I think Splatoon is weird because I think I can't tell if that game is a sequel or a port. It's like trying to tell if this Inklings are a kid or a squid.
I think that I'm thinking it's kind of like a pseudo sequel. Like it's the same base game, but however though they're adding more to it. Like for example, like last year, like I believe a couple of months ago, they announced that they had their final Splatfest. So I believe that with this one, they're going to like add more stages, more weapons, maybe maybe a little bit more character customization. But however, though, I believe they're going to do Splatfests again.
Be so nice. This play to be able to play because I'm getting the system.
Yeah,
As
it's a fun game. I loved it. I loved it the first time I played it. It was like, okay, because here's the thing about the Wii U. When Mario Kart 8 came out, I basically played nothing but the online for weeks on end. And when Splatoon came out, I basically did the same thing. But once I got a PS4, I kind of stopped.
And then decided to play Rocket League.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Rocket League would be such a perfect game for the Switch.
Any multiplayer game on the Switch would be great because I feel like because they showed it off in the video that you can have more than one Switch be connected and you could play side by side with other characters, much like with other players, much like how the 3DS worked.
Yeah, that'd be so good.
And I feel like that if they added more multiplayer games, that the Nintendo Switch will become the next LAN party, where rather than having a bunch of multiplayer games,
having to do a complicated LAN setup, all you gotta do is bring one tablet. Pray to God they have a dock somewhere. You have your entire game, all the save files, everything downloaded.
Like, imagine Quake Champions on this thing.
Yeah, that'd be a good example. My concern is, though, that portably it's not going to lend itself to online multiplayer because I doubt... Without a doubt, it's going to have Wi-Fi because every single Nintendo system since the Wii has Wi-Fi, but it's probably not going to have, like, a cellular connection.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that would just be I'm pretty sure that would just not be as worth it as it was because I remember the PS Vita had that and no one has a Vita, but I'm pretty sure no one really bought the wireless version of the Vita.
The problem with the Vita is that with its for one thing, they made it 3G instead of 4G, right when 4G was emerging, and then they decided to only have one carrier, and that one carrier was AT&T.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if you remember that, but when Sony announced that, I think it was at E3, people were booing.
Well, I mean, AT&T sucks.
They do suck. You like AT&T? I don't like AT&T.
No, I don't know. No one likes AT&T. I remember back then, AT&T only had one. No, not even AT&T didn't even have a jingle. It was just boring. No one liked it. Even now, no one likes it.
I don't know a soul who likes AT&T.
Yeah.
T-Mobile for life?
Well, that's because we're broke college students.
That's true. I got my brother introduced to T-Mobile, and he's absolutely head over heels for them.
Well, yeah, they're cheap.
They're cheap, no contract. God, this might as well just be a paid promotion for T-Mobile. Hey, T-Mobile, give us money, please.
We like money.
We like your service.
Yes. Okay, but anyways, back on the Switch. I don't feel like they're going to do anything cellular because I'm pretty sure if you're going to use anything Wi-Fi related, it's going to be at the house.
Maybe down the line, because I think it would be a good idea to do cellular. They just got to do it right.
Yeah.
Maybe on a hypothetical Switch 2 or something.
Maybe. Who knows? Also, I'm kind of interesting of what they're... Because this thing isn't exactly super portable. It's... From the looks of it, it is a genuinely big system.
It's basically more of a gaming tablet than it is your traditional handheld.
Yeah. Which again, everyone brings those around, so I'm guessing it's no big deal, but
I bring my I bring my laptop to school all the time, and it's not. It wouldn't be very hard to drag my Switch as well, especially if I have like downtime or something and want to play like Mario Kart with my friends or something.
Yeah. Also, the accessories. The accessories are interesting.
Are you talking about that Hori Bleak or whatever it's called?
Yeah, yeah, the Hori League.
Because
Now,
there's a fight stick, which means there's fighting games.
yeah. And by the way, that's got to be like a handful to carry around with you.
Ah,
I'm ready. Who's ready to get their asses pwned in Street Fighter 2? Blam! I'm just slamming onto the table.
so there's fighting games, and my best guess is that we're gonna see. I think Tekken 7. These probably won't be at the event. I'm just talking about like games that can come.
Yeah. Well,
But
I feel like they're going to show off the launch titles now, and then for like E3 they're going to show off what they're going to have the holiday season and for what their plans are in the future.
pretty much like I don't think any games coming out next year are going to come like except for maybe like one or two for a big surprise.
Yeah.
Uh, my
But
best my best
I'm
guess
sorry.
is that here's what's going to happen is that we are going to see every single game in the trailer shown off or at least announced, like Skyrim, the Mario game, Breath of the Wild, obviously.
I feel like that Skyrim is going to be a launch title.
Yes. I feel like Skyrim, God, I think it's going to be launch window. I think because it's going to be massively redundant with Breath of the Wild coming out, which
Maybe. Yeah.
I think is at launch. I think that is an absolute guaranteed launch game.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that the Breath of the Wild is going to come out for launch because I believe it's going to come out generally at the same time that Breath of the Wild comes out for Wii U.
Why else would they delay it?
Yeah. Speaking of which, I might just get the Switch and with the Breath of the Wild instead.
And give your good old Wii U a Viking funeral?
No, we're not going to give my Wii U a Viking funeral. I still have Mario Galaxy 2 on that thing.
Well, you can buy Mario Galaxy 2 physically.
I don't want to buy Mario Galaxy 2 physically. Have you tried finding Mario Galaxy 2 out in the wild? It's impossible.
It's actually very easy because it just got re-released as a Nintendo Select.
Oh crap, they did?
Yeah, it did. I have that version of the game.
Well, shoot, I might as well do that. But although I'm still going to play it on the Wii U because it looks prettier.
It does. I got component cables for my Wii and the picture is good, but I can't imagine it's the same as, running it through an HDMI.
It looks better, but yeah. But although it's nice to see that Nintendo's finally doing something normal. I like that, and but although this begs the question, what's going to happen to the 3DS?
I think there's a couple of games coming out for the 3DS. I think Dragon Quest VIII's coming out uh, either, I think next week. They have Dragon Quest VIII. They have that Pikmin game.
Yeah, which looks weird. I'm not going to lie.
I'm kind of excited for it because I think it actually looks like it works really well.
I'm pretty sure the game's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be perfectly fine. But although it's just weird to see Pikmin as a side scroller.
I wonder if those late gen 3DS games will get ported to the Switch because they have like the Pikmin game. They have okay, this is gonna be like a real shot out of the blue, but part of me thinks that Federation Force is going to get ported to the Switch. Much to the
I,
controversy, much to the controversy of a bunch of fanboys. No offense, I love you all, but It's going to be really controversial, but it makes sense because I feel like that game was really punching its weight on 3DS.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that. Okay, well, here's the thing. I feel like we're going to get a brand new Fire Emblem. We're going to get a brand. Not only are we going to get the standard usual games like Mario, Zelda, and all that sort, but I feel like that we are going to get a brand new Fire Emblem, and hopefully Metroid.
I think a real Metroid game is coming out though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that now that, since Metroid Prime Federation Force came out, I feel like they're going to do a legit Metroid game.
I think I'm going to take it a step further and say they're going to do a Prime 4. Because it seemed like Federation Force was building up to that.
Maybe.
Maybe it won't be called Prime 4, but it's very much going to be like that.
Yeah.
And then, let's see. Like, I think...
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a brand new Fire Emblem because Fire Emblem has now become one of their new flagship IPs now.
At the same time, though, I think Fire Emblem and, for that matter, Animal Crossing are down the line. I don't think they'll be shown off tomorrow.
No, they're not. Those things are going to be later on. And I don't. Is Sakurai doing anything?
Kid Icarus Uprising 2, come on, do it.
I hope he took a long vacation.
I hope he is well rested. Speaking of which, I think we are going to see Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch. I think it's just going to be a port of the Wii U game.
I feel like it's going to be a port with all the DLC.
Yeah, that's what
I want there to be a port with all the DLC because, again, it's just kind of a shame with how the Wii U kind of poorly manages its eShop because you can't really exactly archive your own thing. So basically, you have to buy a game or DLC and never delete it off your system or face losing it all and having to buy it all over again.
Maybe Nintendo thought the Wii U was going to fail from the start, which is why they made it pretty easy for everything to get lost to the sands of time.
Well, which is a shame too. Which is a real shame because there are quite a few good. Because the thing about it is that the Virtual Console games are good, and it's kind of a shame that you're gonna have to start from scratch all over again. But however, they do compensate you because, like, let's say if you have like a Virtual Console game on the Wii that managed to get its way on the Wii U, you can buy it at like a discount all the time. So they gladly compensate you a little bit, but it's just kind of a shame that you kind of just lose all of your progress forever just because they didn't think of a good way to handle Virtual Consoles and all that other stuff.
Speaking of Virtual Console, I think, in fact, I know we are going to see GameCube Virtual Console finally.
I hope they do. I hope they do because I really, really, really want like especially because that's the one thing I like about the Virtual Console. Like it gives me the chance to relive some old games. Like I played through the original Ocarina of Time through the Wii Virtual Console. I'm playing Galaxy 2 through the Virtual Console, and I hope that like Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, or I don't know what, but it was like there was a Fire Emblem game for the GameCube, but
I think it's
good
Path
luck
of Radiance.
Find it out there in the wild because it is hella expensive.
That game's really rare. There's a lot of like old school, GameCube RPGs like the Fire Emblem, Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah.
Baden Kaitos or Baden Kaitos or whatever it's pronounced.
But yeah, anyways, a bunch of good stuff that now can be relived and probably be found once again thanks to the Virtual Console.
Yeah, so GameCube emulation has taken a massive jump within the past couple years because Dolphin has Dolphin's been running perfectly on my admittedly low tech computer. Mind you, it has a recentish processor, but it's not very fast processor. It's a
Yeah,
it's a Core i3 for any of the tech guys out there, but Dolphin works perfectly, and I have no reason to believe that with the proper documentation that Nintendo has, that they can get GameCube games running damn near perfectly on it.
oh yeah, it's without a doubt that they can easily do it. But though, which begs me the question, like, what kind of storage are we looking at for the Switch?
I don't think it's going to be a lot because it's that storage has to be on a tablet, and portable devices and hard drives do not go together very well.
One thing's for sure, here's the things that I'm going to get when it comes to the Switch at launch. I'm going to buy a screen protector. I'm going to buy a carrying case. I'm going to buy that Pro controller because I feel like that will be really nice when I'm just at home.
That Pro controller looks really cool.
Yeah, I do like it. But though, I am also going to buy like a really big micro SD card.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's going to take micro SD cards because once again, every Nintendo system has micro SD.
Yeah, because I feel like that it's going like I'm going to have to find like a really big one because this thing is not going to be able to run everything with just because I hope that there's just like one standard issue model. Like I don't want there to be two different models like they did with the Wii U. Like one was 8 GB, which is pointless. I don't know why anyone will buy the stupid 8 GB console. And then there was a 32 GB, which did slightly better, but although it wasn't exactly the greatest.
I'm thinking of most mobile devices now, which is effectively what the Switch is. A mobile device that has the capability of running home console games. But at the same time, though, most mobile devices have about 32 to 64 gigs of storage. So I imagine we're looking at that ballpark.
Yeah, I feel like that it's going to be roughly around there because I mean Nintendo has to at least have a bigger storage system. And granted, it doesn't. I don't. Whatever though. Luckily, the games are now going to be on cartridge. So
Praise
not.
micro SD and praise
Yeah.
cartridge.
So yeah, that's going to be nice. And I kind of find it genuinely crazy that all of the stuff, like the guts of the hardware, is in the tablet is in the tablet. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I think that eventually we're going to see like the drawbacks of that, like storage space. But you know, I think I think it will be capable of running games for the most part,
Yeah.
like good games. So we mentioned that there was a fighting stick earlier, and one of the games I want to see is Injustice 2.
I think yeah, I mean, they might do Injustice too.
Because
I don't know. It's kind of it's long. It's hard to tell, but though, yeah, that they're building a fight pad for a reason. So
yeah, because the first Injustice is on the Wii, to my knowledge, and that game works fine. I
yeah,
hope.
it's on the Wii U, but however, though, it was also running on the X. It was running on X. It also ran on Xbox 360 and PS3s too. So it was during that it was during that transition period where games were still going on the PS3 and Xbox 360. In fact, I'm pretty sure Xbox Ones and PS4s rarely came, just barely got announced, or they just came out that year.
Yeah, I don't think the 360 was announced yet. No, I mean the Xbox One wasn't announced yet. Although eventually, though,
Yeah,
Injustice did get a PS4 port. I used to have it somewhere.
yeah, the complete edition.
Basically, with all the costumes and DLC characters, it was a pretty good port.
Also, I'm gonna say this right now. This may be very controversial, but I'm just glad that Nintendo's finally making a console that's treating itself like a console. Like like sure, like the PS4 Pro is kind of like okay, but although there's no really a real incentive for me to buy it because in order for me to utilize this thing to its potential, I have to go get a 4K TV. I have to get the Pro, and even then, it's weird how it's running on Blu-ray discs, but although it's still but it's just upscaling everything to look a little bit more prettier, but it's still not like at a 4K potential. And even with Project Scorpio, like I like that Nintendo is still treating the Switch as a console rather than like a semi upgrade because really 4K TVs are still expensive and genuinely I don't really see the real leap in 4K because again it's hard to see, there's nowhere to see that stuff in action up close and personal, so it's nice to see that Nintendo just has a regular console, but however though, and meanwhile Sony and Nintendo are kind of just like Sony and Microsoft are just basically like doing a semi upgrade,
Yeah,
which and it's weird to see. It's hard. It's a tough pill for me to swallow.
yeah, I think the Switch can easily be marketed better than the PS4 Pro and probably Scorpio, which PS4 Pro I think is doing okay, but the regular PS4 is still outselling it. Of
Yeah. Well, I
course,
mean, the only real significant difference between the PS4 Pro and a regular PS4 is not only is it racking a bigger price, but it also has a terabyte of memory. So
which are good advantages, but that's something you can do just by replacing the hard drive on the regular PS4. So it's not exactly a big deal to me.
yeah, and it's too early to see what Scorpio's doing. Hopefully, I just hope, whatever though, it's very. I'm kind of un I'm not really that excited for Scorpio as much as I am for the Switch.
Maybe it's me still being bitter at Microsoft, but I think Scorpio is going to crash and burn.
Oh jeez. Who I don't know. But however though it feels like that, well, at least with my okay, getting off topic here, but I feel like that Scorpio is going to be that at least with Scorpio, it's treating itself like a part of the family, like as a part of this lineup. Like you got regular Xbox Ones, you got Xbox One S, which is cheaper and has a little bit more advantages. But however though, and there's also Project Scorpio, which if you're a massive tech nerd who wants their games to run on all cylinders, there's that for you.
6 teraflops.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. I'm not a tech guy. I don't even think anybody. I don't even think anybody but like the engineers at Microsoft know what that means.
Yeah, like
That
it has HDR. What's HDR?
I think it's more. The thing about Scorpio is that it has more to do with it's a powerful console, but that doesn't mean anything without games. And if it's effectively getting the same games as PS4, Xbox One, then there's no point.
Yeah, there really isn't. And like that's kind of the same predicament that with like the new 3DS because because it has better storage, it has better performance, but that's just about it. The only real game that you can really play on the new Nintendo 3DS is Xenoblade Chronicles, but that's only because it's a bigger game. That's slightly downscaled. Only because it's running on slightly less power than the Wii did, so
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And also, they have that Xbox Play Anywhere, which you can download the game on PC, and chances are, their PC is going to be more powerful than the Scorpio, depending on what it is.
chances are if anyone's super technical and like wants their games to be running on all cylinders, they probably just have a PC that already does that. So
Yeah, the thing about Scorpio is that the games that would sell the system, like Halo, like say they make Halo 6 for Scorpio, and they make
and only
Forza.
Scorpio, and only for Scorpio.
But those games aren't going to be only for Scorpio because they still need to make them for Xbox One because the Xbox One is still relatively new and has sold to a wide install base at this point.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird how Microsoft's handling their game division, at least.
But if Microsoft wants to watch the world burn, which, considering the current circumstances, looks like it's happening, then by all means, make Halo and Forza and Gears of War Scorpio exclusives.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna push down they're gonna push their HoloLens with the Scorpio. They're gonna do all that. So
Yes. Topic though is that I want to talk about pricing because I feel like that's going to make or break the system.
yeah,
Like
there was rumors of it being 250, but I don't believe those rumors.
I think
I
it's
believe that's
I think do
kind of
whatever
too cheap.
It sounds too cheap, but at the same time though, this is cheaper mobile hardware, and that itself will lower the cost a lot because they're not effectively making making a PC, making a higher end PC like PS4 and Xbox One are doing.
Yeah, however, I feel like that it's that in order for a lot of these companies to be jumping on ship, that it has to be at a relatively equal range of what they're doing. So I feel like it has. Like I'm pretty sure it has to run 1080p 60 FPS.
Yeah, I think 250 is the sweet spot. It is anything below 300. Like it cannot be above 300. That is the thing.
I feel like it's going to be I feel like it's going to be closer to 300 because that it's cheaper. It's relatively pricey, but although it's still cheap, it's still cheaper than the competitors.
Yeah. No, I think the base PS4 and Xbox One are 300 now.
Really?
Yeah, which kind of leads which is kind of why I want it to be 250 is that if they can undercut it, then they'll be fine. But I mean, if you're releasing a system for the same price as a PS4, which has a bunch more features and a bunch more games that you can have, chances are a lot of people are going to take the PS4. But at 250 though, that's a pretty decent impulse buy purchase. Plus, that's the price the Wii launched at, and the Wii had been like their most successful console ever.
Well, I'm just guess. It's just kind of softball guessing, just because it's kind of.
I think it's because the general concept sounds expensive.
Yeah, that is why, because it's guaranteed to run Skyrim Special Edition, and it's guaranteed to it's expected to run new next gen games from these third party supporters from third party support. So I'm guessing that it has a lot of power, not a whole lot of power, but although general amounts, usually again like roughly around the PS4 stage.
Yeah. If they can just basically get the same tech that runs on PS4 and Xbox One, then they should have no trouble making games for it. Although to preface, I am not a computer scientist to any sort of degree.
No.
I think I experimented with the Game Maker engine like years ago, but that's it.
I don't even make custom levels. I don't even make custom levels in games that have that option. So, yeah.
I own Little Big Planet free, and I never used the level maker once.
No, yeah, it's whatever though. Yeah, but yeah, 250, 300, somewhere in there. I feel like that's going to be a good price range.
I feel like if they can bundle a game, then they can get away with 300.
I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to have like they're going like nowadays what's now become the new standard is basically having game bundles. Like
They
it's not just a standard game system anymore. Like you can go out and buy like a PS4 Slim, which is just a regular PS4 with Uncharted 4. You can buy Xbox One with a game bundle, and the Wii U has tons of different bundles. But however, though, it that doesn't matter anymore. So I feel like they are going to do like maybe a Breath of the Wild bundle,
they
but they
should
are
do a
going
Breath of the
to
Wild
with their game.
bundle. They should do a Breath of the Wild bundle. I think if they had balls, they would do a Breath of the Wild bundle, but I doubt it. I think this leads me into a big theory of mine is that they're going to have a new IP.
I feel like they're going to. Well, actually, there has been an announcement of like a relatively small game from a studio that is Switch exclusive. I forgot the name of it.
Oh, is that Seasons of Heaven game?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, that production is like really shady because apparently the guys don't even have dev kits or even an office.
Yeah,
You've
that's
been
kind of
fooled by
weird.
fake news.
What?
Yeah, nothing.
You fooled me?
I did not fool you. You got fooled.
So wait, what? So wait, is Kingdom of Heaven real or is it fake?
They say it's real, but I think it's going to languish in development hell and no one's going to care about it. Because they really
Yeah.
only did that to get themselves attention by capitalizing on a relatively recently announced console.
Well, yeah, granted, because they did it because supposedly it was running on Unreal Engine 4, but although that's not really a big thing because everything runs on Unreal Engine 4.
Kingdom Hearts 3 runs on Unreal Engine 4.
So yeah, basic. It could be easily faked. Who knows? I'm pretty sure if they're going to show a new game IP, if they're going to show Kingdom of Heaven, they're gonna announce it. They're gonna have an official announcement right there. If it's not going to show up, if it's just gone from existence, then I'm not gonna cry about it.
Like, I think Nintendo is going to make a new IP that's just as weird as Splatoon, and I think this is going to depend on a couple of factors here. If they have it out by launch, then I think that will be the bundle. If they don't, they're still going to announce it anyway. It will just be like in the summer or fall.
I don't think no, that's not, I don't think they're gonna do that. Like, because they usually announce like a new launch. Because usually, if they show off a new IP, it's usually like still slightly early, but although usually in the mid of a console's life cycle. Because they announced Splatoon like just around like a couple of years after the Wii U's been out.
They announced, I think Splatoon got announced at E3 2014 or 13.
Yeah. So again, I think it's going to take a while. I think it's going to be a while if there is going to be a new IP. They're gonna have it off at a later date.
I think they're still going to announce it there because it would just like help a lot to show that Nintendo has confidence in investing in new intellectual properties after Splatoon became the success it did.
I feel like they're going to do like I'm pretty sure they're going to do like one of their old IPs but they're going to revive it. It's going to be a revival of sorts. Like maybe like I don't know something on the lines of like F-Zero or or a revitalized Star or a better Star Fox Zero or something on the lines of that.
I think there's only
But
one game I kind of want them
like an
to.
old IP, just not something specific. I'm not saying that they're gonna make a new F-Zero, but I feel like they're going to do something like that. They're gonna bring an old IP back from obscure from. They're gonna bring an old IP back.
The only old IP I want brought back because they announced they revived Kid Icarus, with Kid Icarus Uprising. That game was amazing, and they should make a sequel. Come on, Sakurai, what are you doing? The only other IP I want them revived is Star Tropics.
maybe.
But I
Who
doubt that's
knows?
going to happen because Star Tropics is a that game, to my knowledge, was never released in Japan.
Yeah. That was a European exclusive, right?
No, that was also released in the US. And Star Tropics is actually really good.
Okay.
Like, it's a top down action game, kind of like The Legend of Zelda, but in my opinion, it plays better than The Legend of Zelda.
Really?
Yeah. Not, and it's not as cryptic.
Hmm. But though, yeah, I feel like they're going to do like a revival. They're going to bring some. They're going to do a revival.
Yeah, I guess a revival would be good. I think what they should also have is like a remake or remaster of like one of your old games
Like
from
what?
from like we from like N64, GameCube, or Wii era. I think Skyward Sword HD is an obvious contender.
I don't feel like Skyward Sword. No, I don't feel like because the thing about Skyward Sword is that it's very focused on the motion control, and from the looks of the Switch, they're not really discussing anything about the motion controls.
I think the
Now,
game will. I think it will have motion controls though.
it might, but ever though I don't, but ever though that's not the real focus
Like
of the
it
Switch.
won't be as heavy of a focus as like the Wii was, but I think it will be there. Because I mean, why? I mean, how else are you going to aim in Splatoon?
Well, they did. Well, there may be like a gyroscope feature, but ever though you can use a control stick for Splatoon.
Yeah, you can,
Maybe
but it's not
maybe
as
there's
good.
gyroscopes in it, but who knows? I'm not. But if they, it's no one's gonna exactly. No one is not gonna exactly cry. Gonna be really sad when you got to use Splatoon with a thumbstick.
I will. I was.
You don't. You never even played Splatoon.
I played Splatoon a couple of times, like in demos and all that, but
Yes, but have you played Splatoon?
I've not played Splatoon, but I know how to game controls and all that, and I know for a fact that the gyro controls are so good and that they should be a standard in every shooter.
They might. Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. Just like I remember a while that Just Dance was being announced, and that requires motion control. So I'm kind of scared that they're gonna bring the Wii remotes back, but or maybe the Joy Cons have like an accelerometers in them. But either way, it doesn't. It's not. It's kind of weird on how that's gonna work.
I think it will, it just won't be a focus, nor do I think they're going to push it down on us. It'll just be there because every major major device has, some sort of motion control. Like phones have accelerometers and gyroscopes. The DualShock 4 has an accelerometer and gyroscope. The Xbox One controller doesn't, and they had a workaround for that where you use Kinect.
Yeah, and look how well that turned out.
Like if you were to I think in like Dead Rising 3 is if you were to shake the Xbox One controller to connect with SenseStat, and
Yeah, but
that's
no
how
one
it would have
cares.
made it up for
Yeah, well,
it.
no one cares about Connect.
Well,
No
yeah,
one
Kinect
likes.
is. Well, yeah, that backfired for Microsoft. So now your next Xbox One controller is probably going to have a gyroscope and accelerometer.
Yeah.
Maybe. Now I'm pretty confident.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So I think price is going to be $250. I think release date. It's going to be on a Friday since the NES Classic launched on a Friday.
I feel it. Okay, here's the thing though. I hope that they have enough in stock because frankly, Nintendo's been scaring me by amiibo shortages and NES Classic shortages. I hope to God they don't do that with
They
the
dropped
Switch.
the ball on the NES Classic.
Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so I remember when the NES Classic came out. I went to the local GameStop in town. I asked if they had any. No, they didn't. They only had 3. No, not even 3. 6. That's all they had in stock. They only had 6 in stock, and that was it.
My little brother wanted to give an NES Classic to me for Christmas because he knows I'm kind of a retro gamer, and me and him had an old NES when we were kids. So it was like a really cool Christmas present. But it was like the biggest pain to find one.
Well, yeah, because it's just so terrible. Like
I think
he's
he,
like,
I think he told me that when he talked to like a Target employee, he said, "quote unquote," that it was like a unicorn or a myth.
oh, that's funny. It's funny because it's true.
And then he ended up getting me Overwatch instead.
Well, that's still a good deal.
I haven't actually played it yet. He's been using my PS4,
For what?
Rocket League.
That's it. Go buy yourselves a PlayStation TV. They're relatively cheap. They're $60.
I thought they discontinued that.
Well, they're still out there. They discontinued it, but I'm pretty sure they're still out there.
Okay, so you say that about the artificial shortages and all that, but I'm gonna do a screen share. I'm gonna do a screen capture real quick,
All right.
and
It's gonna just remember it's gonna take a while for it to show up on my end.
I'm gonna adjust the settings here. Not Skype.
Are you doing it through Skype?
No, I'm doing it through the stream. I'm gonna do another screen share. This is a tweet from the official Nintendo store.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no, my face.
Yeah. Why is it black? Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? So what it says is that a limited quantity of pre-orders for the hashtag Nintendo Switch will begin on January 13th at 9 a.m. while supplies last.
You have got to be fucking kidding me.
I'm pretty concerned because I plan on pre-ordering the thing.
You have got to be fucking kidding me. Nintendo, that's not how it's done. Jesus fuck, do you know how many people are gonna buy this shit? For fuck's sake, Nintendo, no! That's not how you do it. Limited quantities? Are you serious? This can't be real. This can't be fucking real.
It's probably fake news.
I hope it's fake news. I swear to God, I hope it's fake news. Because otherwise, Nintendo just royally fucked up.
It'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fake because let's be real, no one is going to do unlimited quantities on a fucking major home console system. Like the NES Classic, okay, sure, it's stupid that they do limited quantities on those things, but ever though it's something minor, that's fine. Amiibo, that's fine. It's stupid, but ever though it's just minor, they're just stupid toys. That's fine, but you cannot do a limited quantity on a major home console system like this.
I have a friend who works in Best Buy. I should have talked to him about it.
You think he could tell us some news about the Switch stuff?
Well, he says he works in the gaming department, but I've only seen him in the TV department. But I think those are the same thing.
Also, I just want this just for it to be out there. I hope that the Switch commercials have that song by Will Smith.
Because someone did like a really good Nintendo remix of it.
They did. It's called "Switch It Up" by Triple Q. Like it's basically Switch with with different Nintendo themes. Like they did it for they had one from 3D World, they did one from Kirby, and they have the Donkey Kong Country theme.
Ah, here it is.
it's good. I like it.
We're gonna switch it up.
Yo, mic check, mic check.
But yeah, there's.
Yeah, here you
But
go.
yeah, it just.
Well, nah, he over here. Yeah, I heard he got that hot new
It's
thing.
just. It's nice to see Nintendo doing something normal for a change. Well, as normal as they can be.
Okay. So, final guess on release date, because I think it's March 24th.
Is that when Breath of the Wild comes out?
I think it's going to be March 24th because it's going to be on a Friday because I think that's when all of Nintendo's software has been launching now, software and hardware.
Yeah.
Because it used to be Sunday, and then I found out that they don't launch anything on Sunday anymore, so now it's
Well, yeah, because Sunday sounds an awful lot like death in Japanese. Something on the lines of that.
Sunday is incredibly boring because people have like shit to do on Monday, and they don't want to have to focus on buying something on a Sunday.
No one's gonna do anything on Sunday. So I feel like it is gonna come out. I think it's gonna come out March. It's gonna come out relatively soon prior to the Switch because they're not going to release this thing during. Because I'm pretty sure they want to release this thing as soon as possible before E3 happens.
So there are 4 or 5 Saturdays in March. There is March 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, and 31st. March 17th is St. Patrick's Day, so I think that's out of the picture.
Okay, yeah, you're right. They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna release it on a major holiday.
March 10th would be actually really cool. Because it's like MAR 10-0. It sounds like Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might do something that day. Well, they might just do something special that day, like special Mario thing. Like they did it last year too.
The other thing about game systems is that they're typically released towards the end of the month.
They're usually no. Well, the thing about game system is that they're usually released like before or around the holiday season.
Not with Nintendo.
No, they're doing no. But I'm pretty sure Nintendo is the exception to. At this time right now, they're the exception to the rule because they want a fresh start.
I think the 3DS launched in March as well.
Yeah, but although I do, but yeah, this is more or less a brand new beginning with Nintendo, and they want to start that soon because the Wii U is essentially dead. There hasn't been a game that was released. There hasn't been anything major that was released last year for the Wii U, except maybe like Twilight Princess HD.
Yeah, Twilight. I think they had 3 major games, which is pitiful, but I think it was Twilight Princess HD. Star Fox Zero, and then I think it was Paper Mario.
It was Paper Mario. Oh yeah, and Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Oh yeah, and Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
So yeah, basically, 4 games for that system. Yeah, that's not exactly good. 4 big release games for that system for that year. That's not exactly great.
I want to play Tokyo Mirage Sessions because I've heard the game is pretty ridiculous.
I heard that it's all right, but although I wouldn't get it because the Fire Emblem chemicals don't look much like Fire Emblem, and I haven't played much of Shin Megami Tensei.
But at least play Persona.
What? I do want to play Persona. I want to play. Persona 5 comes out in March too. Ah, dang it! Persona 5 comes out in March.
Actually, Persona 5 comes out in April.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was supposed to release on Valentine's Day, which to me was always ridiculous.
Well, that's also the. Well, I mean, it was. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have that. I'm pretty sure because no games are coming out in April, right?
No. I'm pretty sure we'll all be playing Breath of the Wild by then, and then as soon as Persona 5 comes out, that particular fan base is going to switch to that. Because I imagine the Persona fan base and the Zelda fan base have an overlap of some kind.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Whatever though.
I mean, I like
Whatever
both.
How's Persona 3 Or how's Persona 4?
I haven't played Persona 3. Persona 4 is really excellent, like way better than I thought it was going to be, because it's a really small game at heart. It takes place in this small town.
Yeah, I still need to play Persona 4.
And the first couple of hours are front loaded with tons of dialogue and exposition. And once you're cut loose, it's a pretty standard JRPG, except the characters are really engaging. And the social link system is surprisingly pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of the things you can do is, join a club at school.
Yeah.
And you have a social link to that.
Yeah. Well, I think now is a good time or whatever to just stop right now since... So, final thoughts on the Switch?
Final thoughts, I am excited. Let the hype come down on us. I hope nothing is catastrophic. Like if the price is too high or if the games aren't impressive, which I doubt. But, as long as nothing goes wrong, I am excited for the Switch, and I am ready to pre-order it. That is, if I can't. Otherwise, Nintendo, fuck you. I'm just gonna... Fuck you. You don't deserve my money anyway.
I'm excited for it. I'm really glad that Nintendo's doing something normal. I can't wait to see what they're doing with it. I hope for the best. I really do, because after their last system being a massive failure as it was, I really hope for the best when it comes to this, when it comes to the Switch.
I think the concept is really compelling. I think I like the Joy-Cons. I'm excited for Breath of the Wild. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that new Mario game. I'm excited to play portable Skyrim. There's a lot to be excited about. It's a time of optimism for Nintendo. Yep. It's not a time for optimism in the rest of the world, but for Nintendo specifically.
Don't bring that up here. Don't bring that up here. We're talking about Nintendo. We're not
talking about... This is my YouTube channel. I can talk about whatever I want. And I just barely touched upon it. Okay. Final thoughts. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your hype level?
I want to say it's like 7. 7 and like a 7.
Mine is very much a 9.5. I doubt I'll get any sleep tonight.
Like I am excited. I can't wait for it, but I can't wait for it. But I do want to see I do want that announcement to show up, and I do want to be genuinely surprised. I am very optimistic about Nintendo's future.
I don't know if I'll I think we're gonna watch it together over Skype.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm gonna stream that. Maybe. We'll see.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna watch the conference on my television via Twitch or something, and then have Skype running on my laptop.
That's what I'm gonna do.
It'll be fun.
Yep, it will be fun.
It'll be fun. Well, that is it for our little podcast discussion tonight. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. And if you just tuned in, well, look for the archive.
Yep.
And I will see you next time for another stream night.
Yep. Laters.